riverparishfootball.com presentation. It's a River Parish football playoff preview. From Thomas Dupuis Stadium on the campus of St. Charles Catholic, greetings and welcome to our riverparishfootball.com playoff special. I'm Eric Ritchie alongside riverparishfootball.com senior writer George Becknell. George, 5 of our 6 teams from the River Parish have advanced to the regional round, the Sweet 16.
Yes, and we have some interesting stories for these 5 teams. Among them, St. Charles, which is playing almost a championship caliber match in its second round. And you have a West St. John team, which is playing a rematch against a rival. And it seems like all 5 games have some interesting storylines.
Some slugfest to be sure. Last week we began with 1A. Let's do the opposite this week. We begin with 5A, East St. John, a matchup with Jesuit after what the Wildcats did was win a playoff game in the first round, something they haven't done in almost 6 years, but their reward is to play a team that hasn't lost a game all season.
East St. John came out throwing the football. Darian Monroe threw it 6 times on a 6-play possession to start the game, and they seemed to keep throwing it. He had over 200 yards passing in the first half, and now they get the challenge in Jesuit, which is ranked number 2 in the state.
They get so at home, so East St. John will be home to Jesuit. That's where we start off our playoff preview.
You know, it's huge because we won our first district championship in 6 years. So then all of a sudden, right after that, somebody says, well, heck, now you got to win your first playoff game. And it's like, you can't enjoy that, so now you're the next one. I said, hey, guys, welcome to the playoffs. And they just looked at me. I said, look, you got to do what you got to do. And that's control what you control. Brother Martin only traded 2 films. They didn't want to trade more than that. So we had 2 films. So that's what I think you asked me. Well, what was your game plan? Our game plan was, what do we do best? And that's what we did. And we just counteracted on the sideline. And at halftime, we made some adjustments. But for the most part, they stayed in what they did. They did come up with a zone pressure scheme, and which was a little different than what we saw. I'm sure they ran it through the year. We didn't see it, but we adapted. Debo made some really good throws, and it's off the hot read. But, you know, winning that first playoff game, you know, that was the biggest thing. We started doing that, and then when you look on the sideline, you got guys coming up to you with tears in their eyes telling you, Coach, man, it's a wonderful feeling. It just makes you feel like you've accomplished something. But like I told them, hey, man, enjoy this till tonight. Tomorrow morning, it's over.
Around here, a playoff win is a big thing for us because we haven't won it in the last 6 years. And it is a big thing for us. If we keep going on, it'll be an even bigger thing. The key is to play as a team. If the line block, the receivers have to do what they do, quarterback do what they have to do, everything come together real nice.
The key to the victory was defense. We had to stop the run. We knew that it was going to come out strong. There wasn't an easy victory. We had to go out and ball. We had to make an example. We had to show everybody that this year, East St. John, we're not to be played with.
With East St. John's receiving core, it's pick your poison. Desmond Broussard has been a top receiver for East St. John all year. Rashad Green has been the leading receiver in River Parish football. And if those 2 guys are covered, there's always the option of Marcus Robinson.
George, thanks. It's time to take our first break in our riverparishfootball.com playoff preview. When we return, we slide over to 4A. Letcher prepares for another big game on the road this week, taking on Washington Marion. We're back after this. The Sports Pub and Grill in Destrehan has it all. A great place to watch the game, daily drink specials, and you won't believe the food. From our fresh 10-ounce burgers, fully loaded baked potatoes, and great salads too, like taco salad and grilled chicken. Need something to rinse it down with? How about one of our refreshing daiquiris? A great atmosphere for the whole family. Just a few miles west of the airport. The Sports Pub and Grill, 3001 Ormond Boulevard in Destrehan. Welcome back. Eric Ritchie alongside George Becknell. Let's talk 4A, where in Letcher it's been the opposite problem as they had in East St. John, where the Wildcats have struggled to get out of the first round. George, those Bulldogs, they've been out of the first round for over 2 decades.
2 decades, as you said, always in the second round at least. Last year they lost in the second round. It left a bad taste in their mouth, so they're looking to go much further this year.
Not looking ahead at all at this regional matchup. Let's check in with Tim Detillier as they get ready for a road matchup with Washington Marion.
Last year, this is the round we were eliminated on. I mean, we played hard. It was just turnovers. We dug a hole that was too deep. But most of these guys are back. They remember that feeling. You know, I just kind of reminded them prior to practice. And so I'd say the intensity is maybe up a notch this week. It's still football, but everything's amplified. You know, you get in a game like this, and sometimes the kids put undue pressure on themselves, you know. So whereas a turnover might not be that big early, boy, it's amplified because it's the playoffs, you know. or maybe it was a penalty, And usually when you get to this stage, the team that makes that first big mistake, whether it's a turnover or a penalty deep in it usually has a bearing on the outcome of the game.
Playoff football, that's just it's a tradition. For the past 10, 15 years, ever since I've been a little kid, we've been going to the playoffs every year. And since I've been in the high school, we've been going past Thanksgiving and semifinals or higher every year. So it's expectations. It's what they expect. It's just nothing like a regular season game.
We're used to this at Automotive, the tradition we have, just always getting past the first round. It's 21 years in a row getting past the first round. But we just got to take it one game at a time. We don't take no opponent light at this time right now. It's a survival of the fields, like you said, and it's going to be a physical game. It's going to be a battle.
Playing your best football at this time of the year is certainly so important for high school football playoffs. Letcher and their opponents are both doing just that.
You're right, Eric. Letcher is 10-1 on the season, having won 10 in a row after losing to Dutchtown in the opening game of the season, while Washington Marion has won 8 in a row. Washington Marion is also unbeaten since Melvin Jones, a linebacker, has moved over to quarterback.
Time for another break. When we return, we slide to 3A. St. Charles and Patterson set for an all-out heavyweight war in round 2. A preview is straight ahead.
Don't widen your feet. Let's go get it right here. Here we go. Break down on 3. 1, 2, 3. Set the tone.
Brock's Automotive and Tire Center is your one-stop shop for all your vehicle's needs. Our experienced certified auto techs offer full service on all makes and models, alignment, state inspections and brake tags, and a major selection of tires. For complete state-of-the-art auto repairs, AC work, and computer diagnostics. We're right along the river in Reserve. Brock's Automotive and Tire Center with 24-hour towing service. Welcome back to Thomas Dupuis Stadium. It's awful quiet now. That won't be the case on Friday. Eric Ritchie alongside George Becknell. The Comets getting ready for a monster matchup in the regionals against Patterson. They're 2-15 in the power rankings, but 1-2 in the polls. Both teams undefeated and loaded. And we found out just how deep St. Charles was last week in the opening round after losing both of their running backs heading into the postseason.
Yes, they lost LeCedric Thompson and also Marcus Hall, the two veteran running backs, but the two young guys stepped up, played quite well, and all of a sudden now we have a matchup which really has almost a championship caliber look to it, yet it's a second-round game.
Neither team looked past their first-round opponent, but you knew that this was the matchup everyone wanted to see, and we've got it in round 2.
The system is a good system, but, no one knows exactly who's going to win on your schedule. And when you forecast your schedule, you have no way of knowing who's on their schedule, and that's very, very crucial. And plus, in our situation, you just can't play whoever you want to. I mean, it's hard to find people that will play you, first of all, and then on the flip side of it, you can't control who wins and who doesn't. So it just so happened, and the storm took away one of Patterson's ball games, and they were scheduled to play Crowley, and what do you do about that? I mean, so this is the cards that we're dealt, and we just have to play.
Like the whole year, we was ranked, us at 1, they at 2, and some polls they were at 1 and we were at 2. I mean, everybody was looking for this game to be at in the dome, but I mean, it's right here in our backyard. I mean, what better place for this showdown to go down?
It's a really hyped game. Most people expected it to be in the dome, but it's soon in the second round. We just got to go out and play our hearts out.
George, both of these teams racked up over 40 points in the opening round, but that's not out of the ordinary for either one of them.
Well, with two prolific offenses and stout defenses, both teams have won by large margins all year long. Patterson has won by at least 24 points in each of its games in the regular season, and St. Charles by an even larger margin.
It's time for a break here on River Parish Football. 2A is on deck. Riverside, the Rebels, on the road this week, taking on University High out of Baton Rouge. We'll break it down when this River Parish Football preview rolls on. Fatty's Bar and Grill in Garyville. On Tuesdays, it's our 12-ounce ribeye. Wednesday night and Sundays for lunch, all-you-can-eat fried fish. Thursday, try our half rack of barbecue ribs. And Friday, it's the all-you-can-eat Dungeness and snow crabs served with sausage, potatoes, and corn. After you eat, head to the bar. A great place to watch the game.
It's always a good time to find it, Chef.
Welcome back to our RiverParishFootball.com playoff preview. Senior writer George Becknell, I'm Eric Ritchie. Let's talk 2A, where, George, we both had a glimpse of the Riverside Rebels in their opening round win last week. A second quarter, that offense looked good.
They came out. It took them a while to get started. There were turnovers early, which they couldn't turn into points. But after a third turnover, they started scoring, and from that point on, they put the game away.
Sanders, CNO, beat goes on for a lot of offensive weapons to go along with a nice defense as well. Let's check in with Mickey Roussel as Riverside gets ready for a regional road trip.
It's week 2. We're going to Baton Rouge. Not really a far trip. It's less than an hour. We know if we win, we're at home next week. That's motivation. And, week 2, if you're going to do this and you got a chance to get in the final 8, anything can happen, and our kids are still excited. Well, U-High's 11-0, but like I told our kids, everybody's undefeated right now. If you're still in the playoffs, you're undefeated. So your record in the past really doesn't come into play. It's winning you're in. So we fed off of that in the past. Our program has fed off on playoff wins, and hopefully that can continue.
It's exciting. It's very different from regular season because if you win, you keep going, but you lose, you go home. This is my senior year. I don't want to go home just yet. I want to make it to the dome.
I mean, man, we still hungry. We still want to win. We want to be here in this atmosphere, this playoff atmosphere. Got to do what it takes to get the win.
George, Coach Roussel talked last week about the playoff atmosphere and the importance of that first-round game at home, and from there, it's wherever the brackets take you. Well, the brackets are taking them to an undefeated team in Baton Rouge that has a 6 seed written all over them.
Yeah, University High 11-0 on the season, and when you get into the playoffs, anything can happen. And the reason we play them is to determine who's the best, and you sort of throw out the records at this point.
We're down to our final timeout on our River Parish football playoff preview. Another slugfest in round 2 takes place at West St. John as the Rams prepare for a rematch against St. John of Plaquemines.
Tough bull, black hit on 3. Tough bull, black hit on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Buckwalter Insurance Group has been serving the river parishes for over 20 years. With 8 licensed service and sales producers, the Buckwalter Insurance Group handles all of your insurance needs. With 3 convenient locations in Destrehan, Bootheel, and Kenner, stop by and get a quote. Or just call at 985-764-3833 and compare rates at Buckwalter Insurance Group. And finally, we come to 1A, West St. John and St. John. Last year, George, the Rams had a rival and a kind of a hurdle, I guess, with White Castle. They got over that this year, but now it's St. John. They beat them for a district championship, and now they get them in round 2.
They beat them 36-20 the first time around. It's always hard to beat somebody a second time in the season, but I think West St. John certainly believes they're up to the task.
And I certainly know that the players were looking forward to this game when the brackets came out. Careful what you wish for. Coach Robert Valdez, take it from here.
Well, I mean, the thing about it with us in St. John is our kids and their kids both enjoy playing each other. And, our defense, really is looking up to it because they felt that, hey, you know what, we want to go out and make sure that we make a statement, so we're excited about it. We're very excited about it. We're excited about the fact that we know who we're playing. We know they know us. We know them. It's going to be a great atmosphere. The only thing that's disappointing to me is that you got 2 good teams. One of them have to lose, and you're going to probably have a couple of teams that get a pass because, some other guys are not playing as strong a district as we play in. Kind of would like not to see them this soon because I'm pretty sure they could beat some other people and we can beat some other people. But that's how the bracket was laid out. We have to play it the way it was presented. So, I mean, it's going to be a war come Friday, and whoever wins is going to make a statement throughout in playoffs.
The series has been back and forth. I mean, my freshman year we lost to them in overtime. Sophomore year we got a win against them, 21-14. And just a couple of weeks ago we beat them 36-20. So I feel they're going to come back and give us everything they got.
Trust, faith, and commitment. We went to camp, had some nice things done at camp. And I want to shout out to the offensive line. The offensive line has been doing a great job working with Coach Robert Valdez. That's holding the block for Austin. Our quarterback, just want to be successful.
Big plays were such a big part of week 1 around the river parishes, but also the same can be said about the first time these 2 teams met. Big plays, big time.
Yeah, big plays indeed. Jarius Small had 3 touchdown receptions and also had a return for another touchdown. And Kylan Favorite rushed for over 250 yards.
George, there you have it. 5 area teams from the River Parish is still alive, looking to advance into the quarterfinals. And many teams, as we talked about from the onset, have huge matchups this early in the playoffs.
And also, too, you have a lot of interesting matchups because you can make the case where you could say you wouldn't be surprised if all 5 area teams won. You could also almost make the case about, well, you wouldn't be surprised if they went down because, now we're getting to the point, we're getting to the cream of the crop, and the game should be closer, and it should make for an intriguing weekend.
It's going to be a lot of fun football, and we'll have it covered for you right here on riverparishfootball.com. That will do it for our playoff preview round 2 special. For George Becknell, I'm Eric Ritchie from Thomas Dupuis Stadium on the campus of St. Charles Catholic, saying thanks for watching and logging on, everyone. Good night.